There you go. That way, when it shows up here, it'll be very clear which channel is which. All right, let's see here. So we have what we probably need to start off with is we needed to make a new function. We'll okay, so I'm going to add the new function to the on init, so it just starts up automatically, because that's the last thing we did is we turn all the button lights off with this script here. So now we're going to turn on the appropriate colors for the appropriate channel. So I'm just going to do another function. I'll call it chan underscore underscore try no underscore color underscore pads. How about that? Makes sense. Define it first. So here, does it need something to work? No, it doesn't take any variables at all. Oops, it's a colon here. All right. So what do we need first? We need the number of channels. So number of channels not just chance, that's a chance. And that one's already pretty easily. We already did that. Channel count 1. All right, so we'll have the number of channels. And what are we gonna do with that? We're gonna need to loop through, or maybe not, like kind of loop through the different channels and recolor them on the grid. So I'm gonna start off with channel number. I mean, there's always going to be at least one, right? So or 0, because I think when it comes to the channels, I think it starts at 0. It's often pretty common. So now we need to loop through something. So while chan num is less than the number of chans. And you know what? Since right now only have, I mean, we'll probably have to do additional codes, but since I want there to be one color for each column, I'm only gonna have 16 columns. So I'm also gonna want to limit this to be less than 16. Which would make it 15, which is 0 through 15. Yeah. Okay. So what do I do in that situation? We want, okay, we'll do this. Channel color equals, how do we get the channel color? It's gonna go over here, Control F, and just see channel. No, there's color. Get track color, set track color. Nope. All right, get channel color. Oh, that's pretty simple there. Get channel color. So it goes channels dot get channel color. I want to get channel color for which channel? For the first channel here, which is channel num. So we're just going to start off with the first column, of course. All right. Channel num. There. So what do we need to do at this point here? So we have the color, and so we get the channel color, and let's also want to make sure I do my iterator. So it doesn't loop for eternity. Channel num equals, so it's equals channel. I swear I know how to type. +1. So what we'll do is we'll, just to see what it gives us, we'll print that. We'll print channel color. All right, save. Reload script. It should go through and give us 4 prints each with the color of these channels. So I guess that's kind of like dark gray, red, blue, and green. So it should give us 4 prints. Actually, just to make it even more clear, how do I combine something? I think it's the plus symbol. Plus color. Just so it's clear in the print, in the console, or wherever you want to, the script output, just so it's clear in the script output what I've got going on. Let's save, reload script. Traceback call, most recent, last, type error, unsupported type, plus. Oh, I guess it's not the plus sign. You know, I forget what it is. I'll just print it out. Reload script. Okay, so we've got 4. These are the 4 colors. But let's see. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So just 8 digits. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so these colors, I don't know what these colors are. I'm gonna have to look real quick, see if there's something here. Yeah, color to RGB. So we can take these digits here and turn it into a real number that we can use here. So I'm gonna do that. Apparently you gotta use the utils here. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna wrap this utils dot color to RGB. Wrap that. Oh, why does it say utils? Okay, it says utils is not something, so I'll go up to the top. I'm gonna import that. Yeah, I'll put that up here, I suppose. Yeah, I'll put that up there. Da, 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 da. Go back to where I was. All right, no errors so far. All right, so says that should give me an RGB. All right, I'm looking at this stuff here. It looks like it's like a returns like a list. Okay, all right, that's not too shabby. All right, so we'll take the color out. And we will say, all right, so we know we're gonna grab red out. I'm gonna grab green out, and we're gonna grab blue out. And that's gonna equal channel color 0. This is gonna equal channel color 1, channel color 2. Then we'll print those out. We don't really need to print these out anymore. We'll print red, green, blue. Wait, is that how it goes? Is it supposed to be a comma? Space. Save. Reload script. All right, so these are RGB values. 132. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think these. Yeah. Oh, okay, so let's put these into our. So I think to balance these off, I need to cut them in half. Because I believe that working with it before, these RGB pads take colors up to like only to 126 or something, like 126, 127. So what I'll do is I'll divide it by half. And that's just, I just know that if I put these in here, they're not going to work if there's a number past 127 for sure. And that's got 132. So I'm just dividing those numbers in half. Save. Reload script. And I have decimals now. Fudge. Okay. I have to round these numbers. Great. Round. Yeah, just a lot of the stuff in here. It does not like decimals. Like if you've done any of the scripts, like you have to, if it takes like a integer, it wants an integer. If it takes like a, you know, so like I just already know that's an issue. Okay, there we go. Now all we have to do is we have to color them. So we already know how to color the pads. Just have to set pad RGB. And we already know what channel. Wait, no, channel number. Channel number is the first variable. then red, comma, then green, comma, then blue. All right. What else does my brain need to do? Let's give that a shot. Save. Reload scripts. Bada bing. Okay, so since it's a grid and there's 16 here, if I want to do the one down here, I just have to move over 16 spaces, right? Because that comes back down around here. So I'll just set it. We'll just do a call. Wait, no, row. It's row. Row. Underscore 2. And that's going to be the channel number plus 16. Row underscore 3 will be the channel number plus 32. And row 4 will be the channel. There's probably like a way better way to do this. Channel number plus 48. And then just copy this guy. 1, 2, 3. This will be for second row. Third row. Fourth row. Save and reload script. Yes, it works. And just double check, make sure that it's still selecting channels. Yes. Now I need it to make some sound. Let's make some sound here. What do I need to do that here? So maybe that should probably be another function. Yeah, so we only wanted to play a note at the right time when we click something down. So probably after it selects the channel, we want to play the note for that channel. So play channel note. What we're gonna need? We're gonna need the event ID, which tells us which key it is or which pad. We're gonna need the column and the row. Oh, I don't have the row defined. Okay, so we know that in our dictionary, the second variable, the second variable or the second item in the index in the list is the row. Yes. And let's just go up here and define that guy. Let's see. Oh. ID, column, row. Yeah. This guy. Oh, it's defined. I don't think I called it play channel note too. Okay, so. All right, same as usual. Numchan equals. So probably just copy this right down here. Because we always need to know the number of channels. Or do I need to? No, this should work. That should be fine. So then we just say if the column greater than the number of channels. Now the reason why it's greater is because the number of channels is going to be 4, but the column starts at 0, like for the first row. So if it's 4, it has to be less than 4 because 0 through 3 is a count of 4. So if that is true, we want to get the velocity. So my whole thing is that I want the velocity to be different for each note. So louder or quieter based on how the row that you hit. So the column decides which channel and which note, but the row decides how loud it is. So velocity is going to be, it's going to equal the row times, and I'm using 30 because there's 4 rows. So if you take 4 rows and multiply it times 30, you get 120. The note range for velocity in the MIDI is between 0 and 127 or 126. I always forget one of those two. I think it's 127. So row 4, so this will give me a 0 on the first row, right? Because 0 times 30 is 0. But I don't want 0, so I'll have to add the 30. So the first row will be 0 times 30, which is 0 plus 30. But then the second row will be 1 times 30, which is 30 plus 30, which will be 60. And the third row will be 2 times 30, which will be 60 plus 30, which is 90. And the fourth row will be 3 times 30, which is 120 plus 30, could be 150. Okay, yeah. That all makes sense. Kinda in my head. I don't know if that sounded right. I kind of know this one. Channels dot MIDI note on column comma 48. It's just there's so the first one is saying which wait, what is the first one? Would be the the channel. Yeah, first one is the channel because the column does a channel, so that's right. And then the second one is a note. In the note numbers, I think it starts off with like C0 or something, like C1 or something. And since all the notes in the scale are like 12, if you want to get like the fourth octave, right, that would just be like, it's like C4 would be key 48. And I mean, I don't know. We might have to change it for some of the other ones, but so 48, that doesn't need to be a variable. It's always going to be C4 is what we're going to play. Or C5. So I might change it to 50. I don't know what the normal is really for the it's either C4 or C5. C5 sounds high. I think it's C4. Let's see here. Think. And well, yeah. Then I think the last one is just velocity. And I'm gonna just double check the syntax here. MIDI note on. So, all right. Channel equals -1. Channel set index global. Okay, so not sure why this has to be -1, but it says so the stuff there. Okay. Now I would test this, but I also need to turn the note off. And the note off is you just use the MIDI note on function again, but you have to turn the velocity to 0. All right, so I have to. All right, so right now we have to go down and we pretty much need this, but for actually equals 0. Yeah, because if the value equals 0, then it's a note off. I think I had a mistake there before. Yep, I sure did. If there is, yeah, it has to equal 0. I don't know why I would call that note off if I had it greater than. It has to equal 0. So if the value equals 0, we know that's a note off. All right, so we're gonna. Oh, now we could leave that there, I suppose. But what we really need to do is we need to pretty much do what's up here. We have to see which button is being lifted up, and because the notes turn on based off of what button is being or which pad is being pressed down. So need that. So if that's in there, we're gonna do cut. So we need a new function, channel note. Cut channel note. And then I'll just define that up here. Define cut. Let's go to channel. So what do we have to do to cut the channel notes? So, you know what? I don't think it's possible right now. I have to go back. Okay. All right. So, because we don't know. So, all right. So, this is going to have to be on pause a little bit. So, I need to track which buttons are going down. So, or which pads have been pressed. Because let's say I press multiple pads, I can't just turn off the last note that was touched. I need to turn off each note that was pressed on, and you only want it to press off when you release the corresponding pad. So I need to track which pads are currently down and what notes they are playing. Going to make an empty variable that just straight up says which notes are active. We'll know what notes are active based off of the play channel note thing there. So after we play the channel note, we'll just say, hey, active notes. We're gonna add in the ID, and we're gonna say which the velocity and the note number, and therefore this will add to this library a value, a key. A key and a value. So and that'll get bigger as that works, as that goes on. So it'll add items to the list, and then on the cut channel note, we'll just we'll make column active notes ID. I'll keep doing that. 0. One. Change this to row here. No, not row. It's no. The row doesn't matter. We're just because it doesn't matter because of the row it does the velocities, and we're turning it off anyway. So we know that the velocity is going to be 0 because we're trying to turn the note off. So we don't need the row. We just need the which note was pressed, right? Which was note 48. So just in case we end up making this a variable, because I could just say active. I could just say the note is equals 48 here, because that's what we have up here. But it just in case we want to change that in the future, well, it'll be like dynamic. If I change this to a variable up here, it'll be dynamic. And the rest is pretty straightforward. Zero because it's note off, and just -1 is what the documentation says, so stick with that. So, and what I'll do is I'm going to print active notes, So we can actually see the active notes as we press them down, and we should see that library, that dictionary, apologies, that dictionary should start adding values. And hit save. I might have messed up something here. I feel like I must have made a mistake, but refresh, reload, no mistakes. So if I press this down, all right, so right now, so this is, we can see here that there's one value on there. If I press again, now it's printing out the key, so it's saying, hey, you know, pad number 86 and pad number 87 here. I mean, it's not actually pad number 87 because it's not that many pads, but that's the ID. And this list should get even number. So I'm holding, I have to keep these held down. And yeah, and actually what I should be doing, because it is actually playing notes. So we do have, that's quiet. So the last two are quiet because they just don't have any sounds on them. Yeah, so so probably for demonstration I should probably like replace these guys with something. Drum pad, replace this drum max, replace with another drum pad, replace this with another drum pad. I'm using drum pad because they have a lot of specific variations that you can use when it comes to drum patterns. Like when it comes to, like, not drum patterns, sorry, velocity. So if I change, so the first one is a kick, and then if I go to this one, I change it to I don't know, a cymbal, and then I make the change the, let's see here, decay, and I map that to the velocity. Okay, that's not mapping at all. Maybe I should. Oh wait, that the other way. There we go. Turned it the wrong way. Really can't tell that good. Yeah, so down here, very tight. Up here, so same instrument at different velocities. Yellow. Okay, that wasn't even good, but you get the point. Maybe even throwing a snare. Yeah, right now I still have to, colors need to be updated automatically, but I'll make that the next video. Adios.